Motley Crue meets WWE wrestling or something, you know? And for whatever reason, it never dawned on me that this is, I may have made a huge mistake in my career choice. That this is probably the greatest job that a guy can possibly have. You get to go to work every night, hang out with your buddies, this brotherhood, this family, this team, and have women stuff money down your underpants. I don't know, it sounded pretty good to me, and I just thought, wow, yeah, why didn't I ever think of it that way, you know? So, my brother and I, we started our production company, 359, right after, I guess about after Magic Mike came out, about a few months after that came out, and we were going through our slate of projects, and Nick and I had this conversation because I remembered these stories about this guy, Randy Master Blaster Ricks, and I thought, man, if that club's still open in Dallas, that Jason used to work at, and that guy Randy's still there, like, we gotta go. There's something there. And so that was really why we went down there in the first place. And what we found was, this gold mine of these amazing guys. And one was more likable than the next, one was more handsome than the next, more ripped than the next. And so, we started creating what we thought was gonna be a sizzle reel for a TV show. But then I showed about 15 minutes of it to Steven Soderbergh, who directed Magic Mike, and my friend Elvis Mitchell, this famed film critic, and both of them said, don't give this to anybody. Finish the story yourself, do it yourself, don't hand it off to anyone, you don't need anyone's help, fund it yourself. In this day and age, you can fund an entire movie on your own, you don't need anybody to do it. So I turned to Nick and said, we're not turning it into a TV show, we're gonna go do it. And he was like, damn it, we're gonna contract, he just got married, wanted the money, so, but we wanted to do it right. And so we did it right. And now here we are a year later talking about the TV show again. So, it's still there.
Nick, when you were first approached about this, what was the first thought that went through your head in terms of whether or not this could work?
Well, it's funny, when Joe sent me the script for Magic Mike, I actually told him not to do it. So that's, yeah, exactly. So, but, obviously with Steven Soderbergh being involved in what it became and the cast and what it did, and so it wasn't as big of a leap of faith for me, understanding that we saw the kind of the commercial potential, and man, going down and meeting these guys, how quickly we realized what it was that we kind of captured, what we realized we were going to be, in the process of doing. So it didn't take a whole lot of coaxing. My wife, however, was a little bit puzzled by the amount of time I was spending at LeBaire Dallas. she was cool.
Yeah, we spent my birthday and New Year's that year at LeBaire Dallas. Which is not how I ever did it. But we had a blast, man.
We also have Randy in the audience. Randy, you want to stand up and take a bow?
Yeah, give this man a
I am curious, like when you guys approached this, how willing were they to sort of open the doors to you? Was there some hesitation about maybe pulling back the curtain on this a bit?
Yeah, they didn't know us at all. Some guys, we were obviously in Los Angeles, they were in Dallas, and when we reached out initially, it was, I just tried to pack the first day that we were on the ground, not knowing if you would have a second day. What we got that first day, and then even just stepping foot in the club, there's a giant poster of Magic Mike when you walk in LeBaire, and Joe just was like, yeah, that's me. He was like on the poster, and they were like, oh, great, so that really kind of filled our days to a point where we were like, guys, we gotta get on a plane. Like, I'm so sorry we couldn't get to everybody, So it became this. They realized that Joe was kind of part of the tribe. So yeah.
Yeah, I had street cred in the dancing world, and I don't think had I been in Magic Mike, I don't know that it would have worked out the way that it did. Be that as it may, there was still, I think, some trust issues that needed to be worked out because there's an opportunity, especially you look at reality shows and you look at how they cut those things together. It's like they're just looking to make everybody look stupid, and it pisses me off, and. I really grew to care about all the guys, and looked at them as friends and like family members. And hell, they're all over Nick's Facebook page, So, we talk on Twitter. I get calls from Nick, and Caesar sent me a knife, and we have relationships with these guys now, and Alex I certainly talk to, all the time. So, there was an amount of wanting to do right by them. We had to prove that we were going to do right by them, and we went away after our first time shooting, and we put together about a 15-minute little sizzle reel that I came back and showed Alex. And after that, I think he realized that what our vision was and what our idea was and what the tone of it was. And I think from there, I think we earned that trust. But I think when you get into something like the segment about Angela, about Ruben, there's a real responsibility to do justice to someone's life and to speak out and to ears that about an injustice that happened. Justice was not served, in my opinion. And I'm not supposed to take an opinion as a filmmaker, but I think it needs to be talked about. And there was I got a real sense that healing needed to happen, and that there were people that wanted to talk to us, but there were a few of the guys that were very hesitant to talk. And it wasn't until the last day that those final guys who were there that night rallied together and showed up.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you see an article, a thing like that on the news, and you get a 30-second news bite, you don't get the whole story, and you actually showed his story, which I really appreciated. The fact that you went into that, you showed the human side of
well, a lot of the testimony fell on deaf ears, and so I think it was important to be able to give voice to those people and have it beamed out, and everybody's going to know, and now everybody's going to have their own opinion.
And to that, if I may, just what a beautiful person in life that was. That was also important to show kind of the world that. So.
Yeah, I love that you showed the video that you had posted. People don't realize sometimes when you make a documentary that it can be thousands of hours of footage. How many hours of footage did you have to cull down to what we saw on the screen?
Well, okay. We shot this in 8 days.
Wow.
That's pretty incredible, really.
We shot it for 3 days in December of 2012, and then we came back 6 months later and shot 5 days in July. And I've never heard of anything like that. It was a divine experience. And when I say divine, it felt like every single day that we were shooting, we all looked at each other, our crew. We were there with a crew of 3, and then when we came back, it was a crew of 4. And I'm funding everything out of pocket, and we're eating at the barbecue place every afternoon because it's cheap, and and driving around in a rental car, and Nick and I are setting up the equipment, and we're all wearing all our different hats, and it was just real, this family affair, and every single day it just felt like the sky was opening up and handing us something. We could have showed up to amateur night for 10 years and not gotten the one where the guy did the cartwheel with his dick right at it, and it was like Jaws coming out of the water, Godzilla. I can't believe we're getting this. That girl eating shit. She wasn't even close to the chair. It was amazing. So it was just kind of, are you there? Oh, let's go. Watch your teeth. Yeah. It's amazing, but it was like we were handed, there was a real trick in the, in the editing room with, when you get into a really sad, heartfelt, somber moment, we were all, kind of sitting there trying to figure out how we were going to come out of it, and it was like, I don't know a person on the planet that's not going to laugh at that. No offense, I'm sorry. Okay. You laughed, okay, good, yeah, thank you. There was just moment after moment, these once in a lifetime moments, just one after another that just lined up.
And we could make LeBaire 2 and 3 tomorrow. It's like we've got enough where it could just, there's unfortunately just so many stories and so many characters that we just had to fit it in 90 minutes.
DVD special features, yeah. There were other characters that we couldn't put in, we had an amazing piece on Terry Terranova. An amazing thing that I loved. We loved it, but we just couldn't find a place for it in the third act, and we couldn't put it in the first 2 because it would kind of broke the flow. So expect that. There was some amazing tips for women. There was like Ace Boogie's tips for women. This guy's like the Yoda of women. It was like, what do you know about women? And it was just like, we were all just like nodding. All right, speak on, my man. So I expect, you know, the Yoda wisdom tips for married and single men from Ace on the DVD.
Expanded edition DVD. I'm sure you guys have questions. Let's take a couple questions from the audience. We'll start right here.
Well, first, I want to thank you. Dallas in the 80s. Oh my God. Oh my God, Dallas in the 80s. And maybe I might have shown up in the Bear once or twice. But I wanted to thank you for showing both sides, both what you think the dancers are like and, oh, I pick you tonight kind of deal, and the reality that so many of this is their job. This is what they do. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But I'm going to go back to Dallas in the 80s. That was just wonderful.
Maybe you got a lap dance from Randy back
I
in the
might have.
Were you the one that took the $75,000 cash?
I got outbid again.
You got outbid? Yeah, all right. Hey, he's going to be there tonight.
Second other question. Anybody else? Nobody else has a question? You're kidding me, right here.
Hi, welcome to Dallas.
Hi, thank you.
I've always heard that there are a lot of homosexual strippers and didn't really see any of that. So was there an experience with that? And if so, why wasn't it shown?
If there was, it would have been in the movie. I didn't cast this, you know? I didn't cast the movie. I didn't script any of it. This was completely fly on the wall. But that is a common misperception. And I don't know why. I don't know why that job would appeal. I mean, I would, if you know, I would want to dance on guys if that was my thing, you know. But, I mean, that's not really the thing. It's you know, I think all of these guys are pretty happy dancing on girls. You know, but I think, you know, but interestingly enough, we could have set the movie anywhere. We could have shot this in Vegas, we could have shot it in LA, we could have shot it in New York, Miami, wherever, all over the country. We could have set it, we could have, you know, shot part of it in a straight club and part of it in a gay club. But I don't think you get the conversation that really is at the heart of this film, which was interesting to me about Magic Mike, which is that this is a very fun, glossy entry point for this ongoing conversation of post-feminist sex relations between men and women. We spent like the past 40 years fighting for equality. But this is a place where we all put that down and just get along. No matter what we do to fight to be the same, we're all different. We're always going to be different. And I think that there's something really fun and beautiful and heartwarming about that. That these guys, their job isn't to play women, mistreat them. It's about looking into their heart and giving them something that makes them happy, and makes them smile, and makes them feel wanted, you know, on a day that maybe they don't. And that's an interesting conversation to me, how we're different, you know. Men are a microwave, push a button, turn on. Women need to preheat. You know, these guys are preheat masters, you know. So I think it's, you know, it's interesting. Every guy, you know, every woman wants to see this movie for obvious reasons, but every guy I know loves this movie because it's like these guys know stuff that they're guys, and they know things about women that shit, I wish I knew. You know, I was sitting there going, man, I gotta step up my game, you know, like, while we were shooting. So, you know, I think if you set it somewhere like that, you don't get that. But if that was a part of it, that would be a part of the movie. But it's not. And that's an interesting misperception.
Thank you.
All the way in the back of the blue.
Hi, I was just wondering if you're going to do Magic Mike 2, if you're going to be in it, if you're going to be filmed in Dallas, I think you should be a true Italian pizza delivery man.
Did everybody hear that? Okay, are you going to do Magic Mike 2? Is it going to be filmed in Dallas? And are you going to be a true Italian and be a pizza delivery man?
You can't have Magic Mike extra large without Big Dick Richie. 30 minutes or less, baby. No, will it be filmed in Dallas? Probably not just due to tax incentives, but the whole team has seen it. Actually, there was a great interview that just went up online. I guess at the 22 Jump Street premiere, Channing went on and on about how much he loves LeBaron and wants everyone to see it. And it's required viewing for everyone on that night too. So they know it's right here. So this is the mecca of male entertainment right here in your town, and they all know it. We all know it. So, and number 3, Yeah, I got some Italian sausage. I got to cut a hole in the box though.
Right here.
I know you pumped it up in Magic Mike. Did you see any of those pumps?
Everybody hear that in the back?
She's asking about penis pumps.
Penis pumps.
I saw Eddie backstage. It's like a medieval torture device. I don't even know. That's just bizarre. That thing is so weird.
Don't look at me, man.
Come on, man. All right. I did not see any penis pumps back. Otherwise, I probably would have made a moment out of that. But I didn't go diving in the lockers, so I don't know. Anybody? No? Not really? No? Yeah. You got one? Get a plug?
I was so terrified when I came to LeBaron my first night that I didn't go buy
Let's go right here in the front of the
Okay, everybody's gonna have to forgive me for a way less fun question, but I want to understand 359. What's the name of it?
Oh, 359. What's the origins of it?
That is dedicated to the man who broke the 4-minute mile barrier. His name is Roger Bannister. For thousands of years, theorists, philosophers, physicists all postulated that human evolution had a ceiling. No one was ever going to break the 4-minute mile. It went back to ancient Rome. For thousands of years, no one could break it. So they thought human beings are only going to be so fast, we accept that. Well, in 1954, this British physician, who wasn't the best athlete, wasn't the fastest runner, said, I call BS. And he devised a smarter training program. Rather than looking at the mile as one big whole challenge, impossible goal, he broke it into 4 parts, 4 laps around a track. So he went and found 4 separate sub-minute runners. And he would line them up like rabbits and race the first one, and then race the second on the second lap, and the third, and then the fourth. And when he could beat all 4 sub-minute runners, he ran it for time, and he got a 3:59.4. The most amazing thing about it was that 46 days later, somebody else broke his record. And within 2 years, all these people around the world started smashing each other's records. So it was all mental. It was us saying, we can't do it. It's impossible. And this guy saying, no, I'm going to come up with a smarter training program, and I'm going to break it into smaller pieces and beat it. And that's what we're all about. It's amazing to think that in 2014, there hasn't been a documentary about male entertainment. I mean, they had the documentary about the mole people in the New York subway tunnel. I mean, it's like there's a documentary about everything. But nobody has taken cameras inside and shown who these guys really are. And everybody has an opinion and thinks that they know, and they don't. So it was amazing to us to think that, you know, because of Magic Mike, because of Randy, because of my friend Jason, you know, because of Alex keeping the club going, because of these guys here, that we get to show this to the world and change a lot of opinions. You know, we get to wake people up, and that's really what our company's all about.
Let's go right over here.
I love the movie. Thank you so much. It brought back great memories. When I was a senior in high school in '86, and me and my 2 girlfriends got sick of cake parties, and we stumbled onto LeBaron. And every Saturday night we were at LeBaron. And our prom night, we went to LeBaron.
Where did your dates go? Out of there,
We
right?
didn't have dates. We went to LeBaron. So we loved it. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right here.
Well, I just wanted to say, well, for one thing, thank you for making the movie, because I've known a couple of guys who worked their way through college at LeBaron. And the movie gives them the respect that they deserved when they were going through college and didn't get it. But my question is, there seems to be 2 or 3 of the dancers that were in the military and then became dancers at LeBaron. Was there something about being in the military that made them want to dance at LeBaron?
It was actually part of the Army's requirements. No, you know, to Caesar's point in the movie, he says when you're out of the military, you're either going to be a bodyguard, a bouncer, or a yeah. So I mean, it seems like there's kind of a limited pool that they all kind of have to pull from, and God bless him. You know, he took the bull by the horns and made his own way. And, I mean, he just kills it. I mean, he's
the reigning champion.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Great American strip-off
champion. Yeah. Formerly held by Mr. Bret Michaels in the audience.
Yeah.
Now
Formerly held by Mr. Randy Ricks, also in the audience. Anybody else?
And now goes by the Angelo Cup, which is great.
Yeah, should rename the Angelo.
Let's go right here.
Okay, thank you. I've never been to La Bear.
But you're going tonight, though, right?
I'm a chef. I really want to, except all the dancers are here, apparently. Really?
I'll be there after.
Yeah, okay. Is that the after party? Yeah. Okay.
Different things will happen there than here.
All right, never been there, but now maybe I'll go. 'Cause I've always been afraid of something like that. And it made the dancers, the whole experience very human to me instead of this really scary sort of thing. Well, the scary thing still was, the pushing the head in the package thing. I'm not so sure if I would want to do that. So if I were to go to La Bear, just say, for instance, if I were to go, not saying I am, but if I were to go, can I not have my head pushed in the back?
It's entirely up to the front.
Okay, all right.
Why don't you come on down and
We'll make some introductions, we'll break the ice. You can, yeah.
Seriously.
Right behind you.
I'm not so scared, so where are those
Come on
Zumba
down.
classes taught by the strippers? Where are those held?
Say it again.
The Zumba classes taught by the guys? Where are those
Hey,
held?
she got a Zumba customer, man. That's Ace, that's Ace.
Where? Nick Soto, David.
Oh, they're asking where can I go?
Yeah.
Well, me and David and Ace, we have our own studio in Mesquite, so,
Where?
On the website.
Come on, I will Google.
you know, LeBaron definitely taught us how to dance, so we like helping people, with their health and fitness as well, so it's a good side business.
What's it
So
called?
where do we need to go?
I'm trying to come see
Well,
you.
if you Facebook. Yeah, we got a Facebook page, and our studio name is Fit the Rhythm Studio. And
Fit the Rhythm, Fit the Rhythm,
Fit the Rhythm. It's a lot of fun.
So come talk to these guys afterwards, they'll point you in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Strengthen your neck.
And they will shove your head in your crotch.
What's next for you guys?
As a production company, we have a script with, that we have some actors, you call it attached? What do you call it? Interested in. We have a script that's out to financiers right now that's based on the band The Smiths. The day that they broke up. I just optioned a book called Juilliard to Jail, which is about a woman who was a Juilliard trained actress who then taught screenwriting and directed a production of Henry V in maximum security men's prison in California. And so it's her life story of working against the bureaucracy of the American prison system. It's kind of an expose. So once again, something that I don't think has really been explored in depth. So we've got those, and then we've got a whole slate of we got 4 second drafts coming in the next few weeks, and the Le Bear TV show is in the works right now. We're kind of walking down the path of that, so hopefully we'll have news on that soon.
All right, anybody not get a question in? Right here.
I just have a question. Obviously, you watch the movie and the guys seem really great, and they have this sort of philosophy about how they treat women, and it certainly comes from people they work with. Is that typical of this sort of establishment throughout the country? Do you know that? Is this the way every guy in this industry approaches the way they do their job? Is this the exception, or is this the rule?
I think it's a very special club of guys, personally. And I think if we would have filmed this anywhere else, we wouldn't have got that story that you
I
saw.
think so too.
The great thing also is, Le Bear's not only in Dallas, it's in Houston, it's in Fort Lauderdale, it's in Miami. So they've been so supportive of this film, trying to help however they can, trying to get it out to the public. So I just think that brand is so strong in this industry that they really do support it as this kind of family network.
And I think you have to give it up to Alex. I mean, like Joe was saying, I certainly heard a lot of crazy stories to the opposite from some of the earlier years, and this guy came in and cleaned it up, and he made it a really respectable place that was worthy of being mainstream, and something where you don't have to be scared. Maybe a little bit, but in a good one. So I think it's really, he put the emphasis on them being businessmen and entertainers and putting on a good show. and about giving and sharing rather than seeing what they can take. And I think it's a really, really special group of young men. So, yeah.
Right here.
During your contemplation of the promotion of the Bears and the Bear 1 or 2 and 3, is there also a contemplation of the dancing in Dallas?
Oh.
Is there a chance of you dancing? No.
We can make a little space right
I
here.
mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that I am gonna have to get warmed up for Magic Mike 2. I'm not saying definitely. I'm not saying yes. I'm just saying maybe. Maybe I might pop up unannounced. So don't wear underwear with a flash. Maybe. Yeah. Don't wear underwear with a
All right, ladies and gentlemen, LeBaire opens here at the Angelica on June 27th. So what we need you to do is
Tell your friends.
please tell your friends, tweet about it, Facebook about it. We'll have more information at bigfanboy.com. On behalf of the USA Film Festival and Main Street Films, it is my great pleasure to give a big thank you to Joe